Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into today's video. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Crossing the Line. As you can see, the title of the story there, we have gone too far. Time to roll it back because the Simpsons were right yet again. And Joe Biden wants to block out the sun to fight climate change. I don't know about you, but that sounds a little terrifying to me, especially when you're the president and you're one of the few people that have the power to do that. Now, Bill Gates has wanted to do this for a while. He's talked about shooting stuff into the atmosphere and blocking out the sun with a cloud of dust, basically. What's going to happen with all the solar panels that we just put in? What's the point of them if you're going to block out the sun? Not to mention all of the terrible other things that was going to do. How has this even been floated? How has this been passed on to this retard? He cannot stand upright on a stage without falling over. He wets himself. He can't put together a coherent sentence. And he wants to block out the sun. Woohoo! I think it's time we honestly invade the US, and take out the White House or something. I don't know. Can we have a coup, Australia, maybe the rest of the world, smart people that aren't stupid and don't have a crackhead son? Put someone in power? I don't know. Anyone. Grab Joe Rogan. We'll put him in power. Make him do it. Force him to do it. I don't care. They're going to block out the sun. He wants to block out the sun. We'll just wrap our head around that for a second. But we've got this story here from the Post-Millennial. Joe Biden open to blocking out the sun to fight climate change. That's a fantastic AI picture there from Midjourney. The White House released a report suggesting the process to block out some of the sunlight coming into the atmosphere, stratospheric aerosol injections, may be needed to curb the effects of climate change. This means limiting the sunlight in an effort to cool the Earth. This sounds great, doesn't it? The report noted that volcanic eruptions are natural analogues of SAI, and they shoot ash and particulate into the air, which does blot out the sun. The Biden administration said that it was promising. A similar concept was floated in the Simpsons episode where Mr. Burns launched a plan to blot out the sun so that people would be forced to consume more energy. SAI is part of a larger effort to report to induce solar radiation modification. Oh my God, he literally is Mr. Burns. Remember the episode where he goes for his health check and he wanders out into the woods and he's all glowing? And they're like, oh, it's Mr. Burns. Kill it! Kill it!
It's a monster! Kill it! Kill it!
It's not a monster. It's Mr. Burns.
Oh, it's Mr. Burns. Kill it! Kill it!
We need Willie. We need Willie, groundskeeper Willie. The report details the SRM cools the climate to reflecting solar or shortwave radiation back into space, although it does not indicate a policy position of the executive branch. It is a response to a congressional directive to research the possibility. No! Can we just, no, we're not blotting out the sun. I mean, if America tries to blot out the sun with missiles and dust particles, can someone just nuke them and they can be the dust particles? We're not letting you do this. Like, the world cannot just let America or Joe Biden and his half-wit brain and their stupid green policies with Greta Thunberg at the helm blot out the sun. The report states that climate change is already having a profound effects on the physical and natural world and on human well-being, because dust particles you're pumping into the atmosphere wouldn't do that, would it? And these effects will only grow as greenhouse gas concentrates increase and warming continues. It suggests that to better prepare for the nation in the future, the research into SAI and other methods of SRM are crucial to enable informed decisions about climate change. Informed decisions. Oh, these words are sounding rather similar to the last few years of informed decisions that they made about our health. The report said that the analysis to implement SRM as part part of it's framed as a risk versus risk. SAI is part of a risk of SRM brings risk associated with it. The implementation of SAI involves using aerosols to reflect some of the sun's rays back into space. However, this may bring ramifications, altering stratospheric heating, circulation, and chemistry. No shit, Sherlock. The report compared to the process of aerosol injection after the effects of volcanic eruptions because they cool the earth and are analogues of SAI. In comparing these two processes, the report details the eruption of Mount Tambora in 1815, which cooled the Earth 0.7 degrees Celsius. After the eruption, this was a year without summer. Because that sounds like a fucking fantastic thing, doesn't it? A year without summer. Do you know when we produce most of our food? When would we produce most of our food and crops? Not fucking winter. The report said understanding these or other potential negative effects of SRM is important as understanding potential benefits that a process could bring. The ozone layer, the report suggests that the depleted and accelerated may be depleted at an accelerated rate if more aerosols are added to the atmosphere. Didn't we just ban certain aerosols because they were putting holes in the ozone? They also said that there are no plans underway to establish a comprehensive research program focused on solar radiation modification. Take him out. We need to nuke America if they're gonna do this to us. China just put us into lockdown for 3 years and fucked us over there. America's gonna put us into climate lockdown. This is insanity. I know this has been floated before. I know it's not a dedicated plan. I know it doesn't mean they're actually gonna do it. But if they're floating this idea now, if they're floating this idea balloon, that means in 5-10 years' time, maybe, they're going to want to try to do something like this. They already do it anyway. They modify the atmosphere and they cause rain in certain locations. We know that for a fact. What is the point of all this hard work and effort people have just put into putting solar panels on their roof, filling up massive solar farms, spending all that time, money, and effort, and they're going to blot out the sun? Mr. Burns, Joe Biden, is an evil dictator which none the likes have seen before. He wants to blot out the sun. The Biden administration literally wants to blot out the sun to stop climate change, which no one agrees on, by the way. And remember, any country that just decided to do this, save Israel. Just use Israel. They've got nice missiles. They know how to use them. Save Israel. They're like, fuck, we live in a desert. It's a bit warm. Let's blot out the sun. Do you think every country around them wouldn't be affected? If they're blotting out the sun just for Israel, just say, that's going to blot out the sun for the entire globe. So one country does not just get to make that decision for the rest of us. If that ever happened, that some country decided, yes, we're going to start pumping stuff into the atmosphere, I'm sure it'd have to be a global effort anyway. But the way technology goes now, who the hell knows? That would have to be voted on by the entire world. And places like the UN would be the ones pushing that kind of thing. United Nations, World Economic Forum, maybe. That might be the one. This is insanity. I can't believe they're floating this idea, especially to him. He literally has his finger on the button. It might be like, he might be laying on the floor at the moment because he's tripped over again or something, but he might be looking for some Jell-O or some pudding. I don't know. But giving him the opportunity or the power to control the world is insanity. America needs, we need to invade. Can we band together as a force and just go over there? I'm sure we'll be welcomed by a lot of people because then it's not a coup, is it? And just kick him out of the White House because these policies and shit they're just trying to push through are just insane. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The White House doesn't know what they're talking about. If they're floating this idea now, I guarantee in 10 years' time, maybe not even that long, they will try to do something like this. Climate change is their long-haul plan for control. Like COVID was a short blip on the radar. Climate change is their thing that's never going to end. We've been hearing about it my entire life. I think it was supposed to be dead underwater by now, according to several people, including Greta. But nothing has happened. If anything, the weather patterns have calmed down over the last decade. But giving any of these people power like this is insanity. This is why we need to vote. This is why we need to make sure our votes count. I don't know how well the votes count in America, seeming he got in, but we'll leave that as a different story, shall we? But solar radiation modification, I do not like the sounds of that, especially if Joe Biden's at the helm of it. Not that he'd be around much longer. What do you guys think anyway? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.